I think we're live. This is, again, it's me, it's Gregson. What's up? I'm going solo again tonight. Chad is at work doing a whole bunch of stuff. So I am here tonight to say hello, and I hope you guys are having a great day. Pardon the raspiness here. That is me, because I'm a little under the weather, have been the last couple of days, but wanted to get on and say hey to you guys because there's a bunch of interesting topics that we've been basically seeing over the last couple of days, and we just had the Daytona 500, which is a big topic to talk about. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the weather and how really amazing it's been, at least here in the Northeast, and what you guys are really interested in and excited for coming up in the spring, because it's almost the end of February and we got to start talking about car season, because it is starting to get to be meet season, drive season, and I want to hear what you guys are excited about. We also got two news articles for today. One of them is actually Alpine is coming to the US, or is trying to come to the US. And if you don't know who Alpine is, we will be talking about them. Sort of an offshoot of, I believe it's Renault or Peugeot. It's a French company. I think it's Renault, I forget. I'll look at the article. But the other one is big. I didn't really realize this, but Elon Musk is not the main guy that started Tesla. He's one of the people, but there was also another person that co-founded the company. And this guy basically called the autopilot and full self-driving stuff total crap. So that's going to be very interesting to talk about, but want to say hello to everyone that's coming on the stream. Justin, what is up? Welcome back as always, my friend. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a great week. And as I said before, I'm solo tonight. So come chat with me. The whole reason we do this is to get you guys interested and involved. So my voice cracks again. Sorry, I'm sick. But drop me stuff in the chat. Ask me anything. Do you want to know about a car question? I might not know, but maybe I can help. Do you guys want to talk about certain things in car culture that are interesting right now? Please drop me a line. I want to hear about it. We're going to talk about it. So now that we have some people kind of just hanging on here, I know that we have a couple people watching on Facebook. I got about 20 of you on Facebook. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you guys so much. And John's over on YouTube. What's up, John? Thanks for joining. He asks me, are you going to be at the VOOM meet on the 5th? I'm not sure that that's showing up in main chat over there on the stream itself, but I do see you on YouTube. No, I'm probably not going to go to that VOOM meet just because it's pretty crazy right now with my schedule. But that's kind of why I wanted to talk about like the spring meet schedule coming up. So we have a couple other people joining in. We have Brett Shelton. Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you on. Where am I located? I'm located in northern New Jersey. So I'm about 45 minutes outside of New York City. So right there. It's usually the dead of winter right now. It's getting colder right now, but the last basically week, it's hit 65 and almost 70 a couple of days. And it's it's the end of February. That never happens around here. It's pretty awesome, I gotta be honest. Justin has a new beater for the commute to Boston. Not too shabby for $800. I think I saw that shared in our private group over at Shift Squad. If you go to our main page over on Facebook at Shifting Lanes, you can support us there and go join our private group where we talk to you guys a little more. I haven't been very active recently as Chad's going through a lot of crap at work, just with stuff going on. He's just been crazy busy recently. I have a lot of crap going on at work. I've been crazy busy recently, so we're going to start getting more involved come March in that group, and we're also going to be we're going to do some normal, we're going to do some merch drops over there, exclusive for that group, so it's going to be really cool. John, yes, I will definitely see you at Carlisle, which is actually going to be one of the things I want to talk about is Carlisle and the spring sort of schedule of what everyone's going on. Jesse DeHart, thank you so much for the 500 stars that you just sent. Appreciate it. If you guys are seeing that on Facebook, then basically stars are like a digital gift to say thank you just for creating content for you guys. So thank you, Jesse. Appreciate it. You're a legend as always. Where was the private group? Brett, if you go to our main page on Facebook, which is just facebook.com/shiftinglanes, there's a button up top that says join group, or you can just search Shift Squad over on Facebook and you can join there, where we're going to do private drives with you guys. We're doing merch drops. We're doing like chats and polls and stuff and like that. And an interesting thing that's going on over there is a couple of weeks ago, Chad actually put up a poll about what rear wing he's going to put on his Mustang, and that group is going to have the most input, basically. So you guys are going to help us to build cars over the years if you are in that group. So appreciate that and welcome. Let's see. Mitchell Gilbert over on YouTube says, Chad's a joke. I mean, as one of his best friends, I agree, and I can say that, but I'm not sure if you can say that. So Chad's not a joke. Chad's great, but yeah, Chad's a joke. He stinks because he's not here to defend himself. So let's rip on him just a little bit, you know. Let's see. So with that said, now that we're kind of like 5-6 minutes in, and people have come and gone, but the ones that are really going to stay, you guys are real and you guys are hanging out. So thank you. So what I wanted to talk about first was the spring is coming up. Like I said, it's been gorgeous here in New Jersey the last couple of days. And actually the last 2 weeks, quite frankly. Not really a ton going on as far as in the 20s and 30s where it should be this time of year in Fahrenheit, but it's been like 50, 60, almost 70 degrees around here. And I've been driving with my windows down and it's just been so nice, honestly. So that got me thinking, let's talk about spring because it's almost March. Spring, the equinox happens in March. So it's going to be spring very, very quickly. It's right around the corner. So what are you guys excited for spring come, car season? So spring is basically, everyone brings their cars back out, which has been very, very cool over every year that it happens because we're driving really, expensive cars in the winter that some people have. They kind of park all their exotics and stuff, but then the spring comes along and all the good stuff comes out, which is very cool. One note to that is it's been so nice over the last couple of weekends. There's a coffee shop and cafe near me called Sunday Motor Co. that I frequent a lot, and it is very awesome because there is basically every Sunday there is a car show. There's just exotics as far as the eye can see. Tons of Porsches there because the owner, Nick, I've met him a couple of times. He's a super nice guy. He's a big Porsche guy, so they have a lot of Porsches there. But man, I went there on Sunday with my boys and my kids, not like the boys, but like my two sons. And there was a C8 Corvette. There's a Ferrari 430 Scuderia. There were several 911 GT3 RSs. There were air-cooled Porsches. There was a Fiat Abarth rally car there. It was just amazing. But that's like every Sunday at this place, which is very cool. And I'm really excited for spring because that means we get to see more of this stuff. So what are you guys excited for? Leave it in the chat. I want to hear what you're excited for and what you guys have coming up this spring. A couple of things that I and we collectively as Shifting Lanes have coming up is the New York Auto Show is finally back when it was supposed to be over the last couple of years. Obviously, the pandemic, they've had to reshuffle all these auto shows, and it's just been kind of a shit show a little bit with how scheduling is gone and do they let people in. But this year it's fully back on. It's in April, usually when it is. I believe press days are the 5th and the 6th. Hanson is definitely going to that. I'm a maybe. Chad's a no for that one. But we'll definitely have a presence there to create a ton of content, lots of reviews, lots of reels for you guys, which should be a lot of fun. The next thing after that for us is Carlisle, which everyone sort of talks about a lot. on this chat because we're big Volvo guys. You can kind of see, you got Volvo banner. I drive a Volvo, but it's a big meet called the Import and Performance Nationals. If you are watching this later and you don't know what that is, go look it up. But domestics are there because it's Import and Performance Nationals. It's not just Import Nationals. So I go there every year, see all my Volvo buddies, and there's tons of cars there. It's Saab's national meet, so they always have the biggest presence there. I think usually they have like 300 to 500 cars, which is insane. They have like a big, gigantic, like Taj Mahal looking tent. It's pretty fantastic. We're usually right next to them. Citroen also has like an interesting little presence there every year. They always have like cool little things. Subaru, always a big presence there. The British stuff doesn't really have a ton of presence there. You'd think you'd see more Jags. I've never seen an Aston Martin there. So I mean, it is in the middle of Pennsylvania, so not a lot of those cars really around, but they do have a lot of cool stuff over there. Always. I don't know if there's really a ton of Honda presence there. I haven't seen really a lot. But they always have interesting stuff. So I'm very excited to see what this year at Carlisle brings. Jesse in chat, who sent the stars, met him last year at Carlisle. He has a really amazing built XC70, overlanding vehicle. So I hope to see you there again, Jesse. That would be really awesome, as well as the rest of the Carlisle crew, which is cool. So that's going to be me and Chad. Hanson will go to that one. Chad and I are going to that. And it'll be Chad's first year, and I'll be staying over the night again, probably Friday into Saturday. Did the same thing last year, and it's just a good time, hanging out with friends, drinking, chatting. Going to make a ton of content there as well. Want to get a lot of reels for you guys because everyone seems to really love the reels we put on our Facebook page, and now the shorts we're putting up over on Shifting Lanes Garage over on YouTube if you guys are watching there. So yeah, we have a ton of stuff coming up for Carlisle. And then right after that is the IPD garage sale. Again, a big Volvo company, but we're probably not going to make it out to Oregon for that one, unfortunately. It's their 60th anniversary. I would love to make it, but I don't think it's in the cards this year. Maybe we'll go next year, but try to keep it maybe East Coast this year and branch out next year. After that, it's basically summer car season. There's meets and shows all over the place. And it's always just a good time. So that's going to be crazy. There's always really, really good stuff around us. I found a local meet near me. I think it's a bunch of like younger kind of car guys. I'm still pretty young. I'm 38, but I think it's mostly, guys in their 20s. But I'm going to go check it out. It's called Nights with Car Lights over on Instagram. And it's literally about 15 minutes down the road, I think in Succossona, New Jersey, that I'm going to go to a bunch of those meets. Once the kids are down, of course, during the week, and see what kind of cool cars there are, because there's a lot of like really interesting cars around here. So I'm going to bring you guys a ton of content from those this year. Doug, welcome. Thank you for joining. Apologies for the voice. I've been under the weather, so trying to just say hey and just chat with you guys for a little bit tonight before my voice gives out for the day. And then the last thing I'm excited about actually isn't a spring thing. It's in the fall. It's something called Avanttoberfest. Now, if you know what Avant means, it means wagon in German, or I think that's what it means, but that's what Audi has called their wagons forever. The Audi A4 Avant, Audi S4 Avant, Audi RS4 Avant. It's whatever the Avant means. I believe it means wagon in German. That's what they've called their wagons since forever. And there's a guy named Neil who owns an Audi wagon, and he started, I think way back in like 2010, something called Avanttoberfest. So basically, it's just a 2 or 3 day, hot wagon meet, which is cool. So I really want to bring this year if I can make it. It's in October. It's a long way away. A lot of stuff can happen between now and then, but I really want to go because I think that it'll be really cool to bring you guys a ton of fast wagon content, which seems to be something that a lot of people enjoy but don't necessarily like prescribe to, because hot wagons and fast wagons are pretty rare. And I mean, I love them, so I hope you'll enjoy my enthusiasm with all that too. So that's what I'm really excited to look for, or really looking forward to this spring. What are you guys looking forward to this spring and summer for car stuff? Do you have any car stuff planned? I want to hear it. Let me know in chat. I really want to talk to you guys about it. And I think we maybe can do some meet and greets here on Shifting Lanes as well. Justin, hot lemon water made like hot tea will work wonders and make you feel better. Yeah, I've been doing that. Thank you. I have that. I have Airborne and all that stuff. Just been trying to get just whatever this is kicked out of me. It's been just like a cold and then a little bit of a cough. So that's pretty much, excuse me, that's pretty much what I've been trying to deal with the last couple of days. Justin, driving the hell out of my Grand National. Yes. And I want you to bring that to one of the Shifting Lanes meets, because we're going to do Shifting Lanes meets this year. And I think the next one's going to be in May at Carlisle. What we're going to do is Doug has wonderfully offered his property to do a drive-in movie night for people that subscribe to the Shifting Lanes Facebook group. So it's for us only. If you're in that group, you'll get all the instructions and stuff like that. You could come out to Carlisle and watch a movie with us on the second night, I think the Saturday, and it'll just be a fun time. But bring the Grand National. You can come to Carlisle. It's not just an import show. You can bring the Grand National. You'll be placed in the domestic section. A guy with a GT500 Mustang won the exhaust comp last year. So it's not just an import show. Imports are the majority, but you can bring whatever you want. Nice. Justin will be there with the Grand National. Outstanding. Doug is excited for driving his C70 down to the yacht club. Hoping my Project 1983 boat doesn't sink. Well, I hope it doesn't sink either, brother, because that would suck, quite frankly. So I'm hoping your boat turns out better than you expected, and I hope that it's going to be a really nice season for you. But I mean, that's not a bad day, driving a drop top anything down to a boating around for a while, and then driving home in your convertible. That's a cool day. Doesn't matter what it is. That's a nice day. So I'm excited for you for that, because I don't have a convertible. I'm not a huge fan of them, but if I was going to get one, a Gen 2 C70 probably would be it for me. Come on, you guys. There's a bunch of you guys on. There's got to be more. There's got to be more interesting stuff that you guys are doing this year. I want to see it. What do you guys got going on? Where is my window? There it is. Here we go. Okay. So, as you guys type out, or if you want to do anything in chat, let me know what you're doing. That'd be awesome. If not, all good. We can kind of go on to our second thing that I wanted to talk about and this can kind of be the whole just chatting sort of this is, did anyone watch the Daytona 500 at all? Because I didn't. And I saw like the outcome, and honestly, like I'm pretty much done with NASCAR as a form of racing. And not that it's like boring. Everyone's like, oh yeah, they just turn left and blah blah blah. It's not a boring sport. They've made it boring with what they've done to it. So like all this stage racing, the playoffs, like it's just a big, I don't know, it just seems really forced. So I mean, I didn't even watch it because I forgot it was on, because it just didn't seem like something I wanted to watch, quite frankly. So not really interested in watching that. Michael Gilbert says SEMA, looking forward to SEMA. Yes, I would love to get out for SEMA one year. Again, probably not going to be able to do it this year, but SEMA is a good shout just because there's always crazy stuff there. We always do last year we did it, but we're going to do it again this year as a recap show here live. We'll do all the craziest builds, all the fun stuff that we like. So SEMA's a really good shout. That is an excellent one. But yeah, I mean, Daytona was, I don't know. The only thing interesting to me about Daytona was Travis Pastrana, and he ended up finishing 14th, which is pretty impressive considering he'd never driven I think any kind of NASCAR competitively before. I'm sure he had some a little bit of training and some time behind the wheel. Not a ton, obviously, but some prior to the race. But man, coming in and finishing 14th in what they dub as the Super Bowl of racing. Like that's very impressive and just speaks to how good Travis Pastrana is as a driver. Everyone when he went from motorbikes to rallycross and rally racing was like, I don't know if this kid's gonna cut it. And then he's an outstanding rally driver, and he's pretty damn good in NASCAR too. I mean, maybe he can get it to open wheel eventually. I don't know, but that's very impressive to be able to hop in to a NASCAR and place 14th in Daytona in your first ever race without being like coming up through like the leagues. That's very impressive to me. Other than that, I didn't really care about the race. Did you guys even watch it? Like, I don't know. I don't really watch NASCAR anymore, quite honestly. I don't think. I know a lot of people do, but I don't think a lot of people that watch this stream do because every time we talk about NASCAR or racing in general, our viewership kind of tanks. So yeah, not exactly the best, but yeah, I didn't watch the Daytona 500. It was not for me. And like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm done with NASCAR as far as a form of motorsport is, at least for now. If they make some changes, like I really would like to go back to the days before the playoffs, because what it was back then was how every other form of racing is. You race the race, and whoever wins, and you get points based on whoever wins or places in certain places. That's how every form of motorsport basically works, or every major form of motorsport basically works. With F1, they're trying to introduce these sprints before races, throughout the calendar, which are fine for a couple of races, but they're not like gaining a ton of audience because of that. And with Formula One, they're racing the races, you get your points, and that's it. For this, for NASCARs, you get these different stages, you get points for the stages, and then you get points for the main win, and then you have the playoffs, and then you have, I mean, it just seems so dumb. What happened to, if you're just a consistent driver with a reliable car, that's who's going to win the championship. That's what it should be, honestly. And I'm just not a really big fan of like what they've done with NASCAR. I think it's dumb. Doug, thank you for the stars. Appreciate the 100. As always, you are the man. Appreciate that. Legend. South Park, poor and stupid episode. Homework assignment for you. I think I know which one you're talking about. I love South Park. It's one of the funniest shows ever, quite honestly. But I think that I'll be watching that probably later tonight, or maybe tomorrow, because I'm pretty tired right now. But I think, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do any of you even watch NASCAR? Talk to me. Put it in the comments. Do any one of you watch NASCAR? Because I don't, and I don't know. I don't think it's a great motorsport right now. It just seems to be losing fans, and all this like contrived stuff. People just don't really resonate with it the way they used to. I don't know. Mark, what's up? Thanks for joining. Appreciate it, man. As always. I watch every once in a while. They've just about ruined it. Yeah, that's what I've gathered as well. Doug, I saw it once live and it was fun, but nothing feels interesting about the cars to me. Justin, I played NASCAR Thunder once. Does that count? No, it does not. Doug, I also have been to many NASCAR races. My parents and I used to go up to Watkins Glen and camp on the back straight during Bud at the Glen. What it used to be, Bud was like one of the main sponsors before. We used to go up there. I've seen many NASCAR races there. I've been to Pocono a couple times. I went to Watkins Glen actually with Toyota one year with Chad, where we filmed a bunch, and it was really fun. We got to actually go in the pits with and see like some of the trailers that they did. The NASCAR as a motorsport is very impressive. there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people don't know about. And just as a form of sport, it is ridiculous the level of engineering and enthusiasm that the crews and everything has. But what the sport is doing to itself is not great. So yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. Chad is messaging me, so everyone say hi to Chad. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Mark says, "What's up?" Just got home from getting the Jeep running. There's about 2 gallons of water in the cylinders. Oh man! Pulled the plug, spun the engine, put them back. She fired it up. Wow, that's crazy. So Mark sent me a video. Mark's a buddy of mine. He sent me a video the other day of a Jeep of his Jeep basically just totally submerged in basically like a creek. And I was like, no way, that car's done. It's toast. But apparently it fired right up. So that's pretty fantastic. Love that. Doug says, I saw Richard Petty. He waved to me. I was in uniform though, so that's the only reason he noticed. We sat in the middle on a motor coach and it was really fun. Also got to see the trailers. They are crazy high tech. And on that point, Mark says, you're dead on. NASCAR is impressive as a sport, but the rules and bureaucracy has pushed it so far away from what it is. Yeah, 100%. That's exactly spot on. It is, as a motorsport, very, very impressive. And people that say, oh, they just turn left, those people don't get it. It might get a little boring, but doing that for that amount of time requires a tremendous amount of athleticism because you're in this hot car. There's no air conditioning. You're in a fire suit, and you're doing this in Alabama in the middle of summer. Like these guys lose like 8 to 12 pounds a race just in water weight. So that's why they gotta constantly stay hydrated. Be in like peak physical condition to be able to actually do this. Like it's very grueling and all the technology behind it is very good too. You don't just slap a bunch of cars on a circuit and say, oh yeah, we can go racing. Like that's what 24 Hours of Lemons is. That's basically what that is. This is like one of the top, 4 or 5 motorsport, echelons in the world. There's Formula One, IndyCar, NASCAR, Endurance, and World Rally Championship. Those are like the top 5, right? NASCAR is one of the top 5. So people that say, oh, they just don't, they just go left. Like they do not get it. They just don't. I've done a ride along in a NASCAR too. Like it's nuts. It is flat out nuts. But the bureaucracy, the way the sport has been handled, and the sport seeing people diving off in viewership and then trying to claw it back, it just seemed very desperate to me. And it just seemed the whole season is just a one big gimmick now. So I don't know. I don't like it anymore at all. Mark sat nose deep in a river for 2 days. That's what that Jeep was. That's very impressive. I did not think that car would fire at all, but it did. That's very cool. So we don't have a ton of people watching tonight. No big deal. We got 9 or 10 of you on. I appreciate you guys being the real ones and hanging out and chatting with me. So let's go over and where's my mouse? Here it is. So let's go over to here, and we are going to talk about this one first because I think this is what we need to be doing first, because this is kind of a bit of huge news. So this guy right here, Martin Eberhard, is basically the co-founder of Tesla. And if you didn't know, Tesla was not just Elon Musk. So Tesla and Musk and Eberhard basically they co-founded it. So here's basically what it's saying. Tesla co-founder Martin Eberhard said he's not a big fan of autonomous cars. He said self-driving cars were not a part of Tesla's mission when he co-founded the company in 2003. He said it's a mistake to think of cars as a software platform, or think of a car as a software platform. Now, I very much agree with this opinion, but let's just take a look at some of the quotes he said in this article. But he gave the interview, I think, to Insider, and other people are just reposting it. I found it here on Autoblog. In my opinion, we need to get out of the habit of thinking about all this autonomous stuff as being connected to EVs. They're separate. So let's see. That keep in mind that all of this FSD, or full self-driving autonomous autopilot crap, none of that existed when I was there. We were still busy trying to make the car work, and we never thought about that at all. That came later. That requires a much bigger budget than we had. I think it's a mistake to think of a car as a software platform, like an iPhone or something. It's not the same. I have an iPhone, and every time I get a software update, there's bugs in there. These bugs mean, for example, that occasionally my newsfeed app crashes. That's not a big deal because it's just an annoyance on an iPhone. But that kind of bug shows up in the software that controls, for example, my brakes or the steering. It can kill you. So that is a pretty intense claim, and he's not wrong either. So this guy, Martin Eberhard, co-founded Tesla with Elon Musk, and this is an opinion that I agree with very much so, because when you're talking about Tesla right now, Tesla is one of two things. It is for the most part a software company that happens to make cars, and two, it's a pretty big cult. Now, not everyone that drives a Tesla is a hardcore Tesla Elon Musk fanboy or fangirl. That's not what I'm saying. Is people keep driving Teslas and buying Teslas that think this is the new wave of what everything's going to happen with cars, and that's totally wrong. Tesla is not a good company. They treat their employees like absolute garbage. They basically fired a bunch of people when they had talks about potential unionizing. So Tesla is a company that's all about control. And Musk is very much about control as well. You can see that with how he's run SpaceX, Tesla, and now how he's running Twitter. So this is not something that is just a one-off. This is something that Musk does. He comes in, he does his thing, he takes control, and then, that's it. So that's the same thing here when he said full self-driving. And this is Musk with Tesla about everything. He's promised things and under-delivered every single time. So he promised, the Tesla Semi would be out in 2017, 2018. We're here we are in 2023, and they're finally starting to come out, and a bunch of them are not even working properly. The other side of this is that, he said, our cars will have full self-driving. And that will likely never happen because of bureaucracy. So full self-driving would basically mean exactly what it sounds like. You can sit in the backseat of a car, the car will take you somewhere, you can get out, and the car will then go off to its next destination. That exists in some form in a couple of different places, but it's still not fully self-driving because there are people that are monitoring these cars. Teslas specifically are definitely not full self-driving because they still have to have someone in the driver's seat monitoring all the systems, placing their hands on the wheel, throughout different points in time during the drive, and it just isn't what Teslas are doing. So for Tesla to keep saying that they have full self-driving is one, fantastically incorrect. And what Eberhard is saying is it's dangerous, and it is dangerous, and you're seeing that because people are shoving or the famous thing was you shove an orange in the steering wheel and like wedge it in there, and you could basically just like have the car drive for you. There's countless videos out there of like Tesla training drives to where the car's just like going all over the place at intersections or like breezing through different things on the roadway when they should be stopping or slowing down. It's not a perfect system. It's good, but it's not there. It's not full self-driving. And quite frankly, the autonomous stuff shouldn't be in a lot of these cars in general, because what you're doing is you're taking away accountability from the actual driver and placing it on the car and the software. It's like, oh, well, I had it in self-driving mode and I was reading my magazine, but the car crashed. It's like, yes, but you're still the end user wanting to be in that car going somewhere. That's basically just like getting on a plane and the pilot like jumps out and the plane crashes and you're just like, oh, well, the plane crashed. It was on autopilot, but it should have just landed itself. It was like, well, there's no pilot. It's the same thing with the cars. There's no driver. They're just not they're doing anything. So I think this whole autonomous thing, we've talked about this a bunch of other times on this stream. It's just not. It's not. I don't know. How do I put this? We shouldn't be trying to up-level the car and the software. We should be trying to up-level the human and the behavior. Because when the human is better at driving, then you will have less crashes. When they are less distracted, you will have less crashes. People think of cars as appliances, and that sucks because they're not, because cars are wonderful. A lot of people enjoy driving, but so many people just hate driving because it's become this chore for a lot of people, ferrying the kids to soccer practice or school, going to work, taking a long road trip to a relative that you don't want to see. Like, these things are what a lot of people now just think of cars as for. So I don't know, it'll never happen, but making people love driving is how to make everything safer, because then people will actually be interested in the aspect of driving and loving their car without having to, give you like an autonomous or like a driver aid system. And yeah, like in some ways it makes things a lot safer. But overall, I don't think that it does, because more people are relying on that now, and more people are just getting more and more distracted with phones and saying, oh, well, I have this car that can kind of drive itself for me. I'm just going to go look at my phone for a while. But you should be watching the road, because you're hurtling a 2-ton vehicle down a highway at 80 miles an hour. So I don't know. To me, I'm with Eberhard on this. I'm sure a lot of Tesla people will not be. Let's see what you guys have been talking about, because I see you guys scrolling in the comments there to see. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. Andrew, what's up? Hello. Thanks for joining over on YouTube. Appreciate that. Excuse me. Let's see. Oh, man, you guys have been chatty. Oh, yes. Chad, going back to what you said, Chad is excited for Boost and his Mustang, and F Joey Logano. He does not like Joey Logano, as for the Daytona 500 conversation. Let's see. Doug asks, is anyone working on a simple EV, assuming we aren't pretending Elio is a real thing? Elio is not a real thing. That is vaporware. So Elio is not a thing. And no, right now there's not really such thing as a simple EV. I guess the simplest EV would be a Nissan Leaf, and I think they're killing that. Or maybe a Mitsubishi i-MiEV, which is actually how you pronounce that car. It's i-MiEV, which is so weird. But as far as like a simple EV, I'm sure there are a couple out there. I just don't know of them. Some cheaper stuff that, maybe they have overseas. I'm not aware of them. But I'm sure they exist somewhere. Sort of like Elio, I'm sure someone's got something brewing, but I don't think there's anything mass market as of yet. Mark Funny, Volvo just said the future is cars getting brain lifts instead of facelifts. And yeah, I mean, that's what we're trending towards, is because so cars are becoming sort of a software thing that just happens to be a car. That's the direction we're trending in, which is not the right way to think about it, because software doesn't contact the road, a tire does. So no matter how smart you make a car, it's not going to go without tires. So just think about it in that kind of constraint and format, if you will, because a car can have an engine and still not move. A car can have wheels and sort of move, but it won't be very effective. It just, to me, cars need to be an actual car. They don't need to be a software platform, which, again, to your point, Mark, that's what we're trending towards, and that's stupid. Doug, that's kind of the point behind Lucid. Oh yeah, maybe a little bit there. Tesla without the Tesla BS. That's sort of like what Lucid is going for. Oh, no one saw the Super Bowl. Steve, what's up, Steve? Thanks for joining, man. No one saw the Super Bowl commercial about how unsafe self-driving actually is. Yes, definitely saw that. Super awesome that it aired during the Super Bowl, and that people are hopefully that made a couple more people aware of, it's not self-driving. Stop calling it that. It is dangerous to call full self-driving because it's not. Lucids are over $100,000. Wouldn't call that simple. No, they're not simple, but their mindset is simple. Not necessarily a simple physical EV, but Lucid is supposed to just be like, hey, we make EVs, they're cool, here they are. As opposed to Tesla, where it's just like, oh, well, we're going to do this and the other thing. We're going to create a Cybertruck that's vaporware and never comes out. I want an EV by Tata, Tata Motors. That's probably who I was thinking of when you said simple EV. I bet you Tata has a simple or very easy to operate EV in the works, or already has one that I'm not aware of. Tesla is also super anti-right to repair. Hard no for me. Yes, they do not want you messing around on your own car. And, that is something that we've heard a lot from OEMs in general over the last couple of years, because they want the right to repair cars that are theirs, that they've made, but that you've bought, but they don't think you own it for some reason. It's just a very weird scenario, but Tesla is is at the forefront for that for sure. Steve, I like Tatas. I don't think that's the right Tata you're thinking of, buddy. Let's see. Imagine the Nano as an EV. It'd just be a golf car, the Tata Nano. Yeah, it would be. Chad, not gonna lie, kind of weird trying to work hearing Greg's voice. Well, welcome to literally all of my coworkers' lives. If golf carts were street legal, I'd be down. Yeah, I agree. Chad works at a golf course. I used to work at a golf course. And yeah, considering what I've put golf carts through, if there's ever an apocalypse, I'm going to my closest local golf course and stealing a golf cart, because the ones that we had over at Panther Valley in Alamucci, New Jersey were pretty much indestructible. So we rolled them several times and they kept working. And this was rolling not just once, but several dozen times, kept working. So yeah, that's probably what I would be going for. Let's see. Volvo is good at saying smart things for why they're sometimes slow, but only autonomy. But on autonomy, they've said they don't want to go much further than where we are until it can really be 100% trusted. Much further than where we are. Action is still important for safety. I totally agree. That is what needs to happen. Whoa, Chad, I didn't know this was a thing either. 6-month subscriber. That's pretty cool. Very awesome. I guess Facebook is going a little bit more like Twitch. That's very cool. But thanks for subscribing for 6 more months, man. Appreciate that. You own this. You own this. You shouldn't be doing that. Christian McGraw, what's up, man? Thanks for joining. Sorry about my voice. As I said at the beginning of the stream, I'm a little under the weather, so just trying to hop on for an hour and a half to say hey and talk about some cool, fun things. I'm keeping my voice up on the up and up with lemon water. Wink. Yeah, that's definitely what's in this cup. Christian, hey, maybe a dumb question, but has anyone ever done a turbo and supercharger on the same engine, or is there really no point? Haha, the car that sits right here where I'm sitting actually has that. Volvo did that. That's the Volvo, what Doug said, that's the Drive E T6. But they actually have it on some other engines before that. I don't know if there's, Doug, correct me if I'm wrong, but it wasn't called Drive E initially, because on my XC90, I don't know if that's what it's called, because I have a I guess not. No, I have a T6. It's a T6 Momentum, and I think it is Drive E. But basically, it's a 4-cylinder engine with a turbocharger and supercharger, and they are filling in torque gaps at different sort of points in the dyno graph, if you will, and it works pretty well. I mean, my 6,000 plus pound Volvo XC90 with a 4-cylinder engine, the 0 to 60 in 6.3 seconds, and that's a 2017, and it doesn't have a Polestar tune on it from Volvo. So think about it in these terms. That's only 0.2 seconds slower than a GTI is 0 to 60. So it's pretty quick for what it is, quite frankly, and it works pretty well. And so far, they have not had a ton of problems with that system. There are, of course, the outliers that you'll always see on forums and Facebook groups and what have you. But overall, from what I've heard throughout the Volvo spectrum, is those engines are pretty damn good, even with the twin charging like that. Steve saying, finally for Christian to be on. Yes, welcome back, Christian. It's nice to have you back, man. Has anyone ever done that for like a big drag build? No, I don't think. I don't think so. And then your follow-up question was, so turbo turns on, supercharger turns off. Yes, they don't go at the same time. I think supercharger kicks in first at lower RPM because you can hear the whine a little bit, and then that'll stop and turbo kind of kicks it up through like the mid-range, because that's where turbos are usually the most potent. Obviously, turbo lag, a ton of turbo lag down low, whereas you can get a more of a potent push from a supercharger down low. But I believe that's how it works. Christian, sorry if I interrupted your main topic. No. Honestly, it's fine because we've talked about it, and everyone's kind of just talking now, which is what I want. I want more chatting. This is what I really want. Let's see. Ooh, Chad posted Ford GT twin turbo supercharged and nitrous, 1140 rear wheel horsepower. Yeah, that's pretty nuts. Doug says Volvo supercharger is on a clutch, like an AC, so it turns off at high RPM, not to be parasitic. There we go. Yeah, so they work in tandem, but they don't work at the same time. So anyway, yes, back to that topic. Yeah, Tesla's co-founder called out Musk and Tesla overall for being stupid, and I agree. It's why I like more sort of the mainstream companies like Ford and GM and all them. They're talking about things being like, oh, Super Cruise or Blue Cruise or whatever. That's cool because it has the word cruise in it, and cruise control has been around for decades, and people know what that means. So people understand that cruise control is not self-driving. And it's also explained that way. Tesla literally just said full self-driving beta and full self-driving. That's dangerous. It's not correct. And unfortunately, it's become lexicon in a lot of places. And honestly, it's how some people are getting killed because they're thinking that their Tesla is going to drive for them. They're falling asleep and people are dying. Like it's happening. It's not happening a lot, but it is happening. So it's just not great. Let's see. Casey, Kelly, Christopher French, what's up? Thanks for joining the stream. Appreciate that. And thanks for following. Appreciate it, man. Just saw a twin-charged Evo 3 utilizing the original 4G 63T engine. Sounds absolutely insane. Wow. That seems nuts. If you have a link to that, please drop it in chat. I would love to be either watching that or reading about it later. That sounds bananas. Do want that. Do want to see that for sure. So anyway, that sort of closes out that topic. Chad, I wonder if you could go compound with a centrifugal supercharger and a turbo. I don't know. That's a very interesting idea. I bet you someone could probably figure it out. Christian says, my wife got hit by someone doing this self-driving mode. That's not good at all. Hope everything's okay, and hope that everything turns out all right. But that's not okay to call it self-driving, and it's not. It just isn't. So anyway, that's pretty much that. And then the last thing I wanted to tell you guys about was something very interesting. Now, if you don't know who Alpine is a very old sub-brand of Renault. They used to, I think, be their own thing. And basically, they came out in, when was it? They came out with a car called the A110, and it's been overseas for a number of years now. And it's sort of trying to, punch in the same weight classes like the Porsche Cayman, like the 718 Cayman, and the Alfa Romeo 4C when that was still around. So that's sort of like what they've been trying to do with their car. However, they have now basically said that they want to enter the US market. And that is very interesting because they don't really have a lot of cars, but they're talking about potentially doing things like bringing this to the US market. This is the Alpine A110. If you've never seen it, it's quite a nice looking car. It's a little sports car. It's very light. Lightweight is sort of the name of the game for Alpine. And it looks really cool. James May famously bought one of these. It's neat. They're very, very cool. They have I believe a turbo 4-cylinder engine in them. And they just came out with the A110R, which is this, and it's a cool little car. It's a nice little package. Let's get back to the main picture. There we go. Really nice. But what they're saying is they want to bring this and the sub-brand Alpine to North America and China. And what they want to do is they want to go through AutoNation here in the US. And AutoNation, you can see right here in the middle of the article, sold almost 230,000 new cars last year, down from 262,000 cars in 2021. But, Alpine doesn't really have a brand presence here in the US, and I would be willing to wager that less than 500,000 people know what Alpine is at all. Even in the enthusiast community, not a lot of people know what it is. So, AutoNation would be an interesting way to bring this car to the U.S. market. And they've also said that they want to bring other cars to the U.S. market, including an SUV and a couple of electrified vehicles. So my question to you guys is, one, do you know who Alpine is? And two, do you see something like this fitting into the U.S. market at all, especially under the Renault brand, a Renault sub-brand? So this isn't even Renault bringing their own cars to market. It's bringing Alpine, this sub-brand, to market. So do you think this could succeed in the U.S. market? Let me know what you guys think in chat, because I'll give you my opinion first, and then I'll go back to chat to see what you guys are saying. But personally, I don't think this is a smart move at all. I would love to see more sports cars here, and I hope they do bring this here. I also hope that someday I'll be able to own one, because I like this car. I think it's cool. But also because I think it's going to fail fantastically. That I would love to be able to get enough money to just buy one and stash it. Because someday these are going to be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars over MSRP because of the rarity. Because what I think is going to happen is they're going to bring them here if they do, sell none of them, and then cancel the whole project. So I can see them bringing it to the US and maybe selling like a couple thousand and then being like, oh, this isn't working, and pulling the plug. That's how you get a lot of these like sort of rare older cars that they try to bring to the US. And they were like, oh no, this isn't working, and they just yanked it. So I think that's probably what's going to happen with this, and I would like to see it happen, but I don't think it's going to work. I think Renault has a better chance of just bringing their own product into the U.S. market. They already have a lot of partnerships out there with many different car brands. So they could utilize some of those partnerships better to get into the U.S. market in that way. That's the way I would do it. I am also a guy is sitting in my garage talking to you about it, not running the head of a global, company. So my opinion doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to work. So what do you guys think? I don't think this is a thing. I don't think this is going to work at all. It looks beautiful. It's a really nice looking car, to be honest. I wish this thing had an inline six or a V6 though. The 4-cylinder is cool, but I know they used it to save weight. Excuse me. Again, tired. Still sick. But I don't. The 4-cylinder I'm sure is fine, and everyone that's driven it says it's awesome. It's lightweight. It's super chuckable. It's one of the most fun cars you can drive. But I just wish it had a little bigger engine. I don't know. I just like big engines. I like bigger stuff. V6, V8, V10. I just like the not 4-cylinder stuff. I think I've graduated from 4 cylinders. I need the big stuff now. Let's see. Steve, I'm good on never owning Alpine Renault or Fiat Alfa Romeos. I would probably be with you there. The only Alfa that I would really, or Fiat/Alfa I would own is a 4C. We had one as a press car many years ago, I think back in 2017 or 2018, and it was awesome. I've read on a lot of forums that they've had a lot of problems, but it's an Alfa, so shocker. But carbon fiber tub, really minimalist interior, turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, but in a car that weighs basically nothing. I think it was like 2,700 pounds. And Hanson took that delivery of that one. I drove it with him. We made a video together. Man, to my car or something. We were just like taking pictures in the parking lot, and some kid came up to us and was like, "Is that your car?" And it was like a kid seeing a Ferrari for the first time. It's so cool. And we let him sit in the car. We're like, "Yeah, this is a press car. We have a YouTube channel and everything." It was really, really cool. But that's the kind of reaction that car gets from people, normal people that aren't enthusiasts, that don't know what it is. They're like, "What is that thing?" So it was really cool to see that kid's reaction. They're cool cars, the 4Cs. They're great. That's the only one I would probably own. Even the Giulia, a lot of people like the Giulia. I don't think it's particularly attractive. It's fine. I think the 5 Series is more attractive than the Giulia. I would much rather have a 5 Series or an E-Class over that almost any day of the week. Let's see. I thought the same thing. Oh, good. That's funny. Chad, oh good. Greg is talking about an ugly French car. Woohoo! He only gets away with this because I'm not on. I don't think it's ugly. I don't think it's ugly at all. I think it's quite good looking. Let's see. Nobody tells Steve who owns Jeep these days. Mine is American. Thank you very much. And then there you go. KC reminds me of the Alfa Romeo 4C. There you go. Not familiar with Alpine, but would not succeed in the States. Yep, totally agree. But yeah, basically this was like a 4C kind of fighter when they brought it out. Yes, because Le Car was so dang successful. They're already here. It's called Nissan. I mean, yeah, they sort of are here, but the design in Renault is like fantastically better than anything Nissan can come up with. A lot of Renaults are just better looking and better laid out than Nissan. Case in point, I got married in 2015 and went on my honeymoon in Italy and France which was very fortunate. We were able to do that. It was very, 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 very cool. And we rented a Renault. Well, we rented a car in France because we were driving around sort of like wine country over there. And, excuse me. What did we do? We got a Renault Captur. And it was a little diesel. It was a little diesel, I think diesel's 5-speed. I want to say, man. Also, super weird driving a manual diesel. I was shifting at like 2,000 RPM. Like this does not feel natural at all. But man, it was a nice little car. And they all drive on the right side of the road. So I was driving normal, left hand seat, normal stuff, and it was a great little car, and it was very attractive for what it was. I would much rather have that than a Juke or a Rogue or a Rogue Sport or anything that Nissan makes in that sort of same category, like lifted little hatchback, small SUV kind of thing. Much rather would have that than anything Nissan made or designed for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I would say Renault could bring some stuff here, probably sell it better than Nissan from an aesthetics perspective. Is it me or does it look just a bit like an MR2? Yeah, it does have a bit of MR2 proportions to it. From here, it almost the back sort of looks like a Camry a little bit. The way the C-pillar and the rear, the way what am I trying to say? The rear rake sort of goes. It almost looks like a new gen Camry just from the C-pillar in the back. Side profile looks very nice. Again, this is a very small car, so 2 doors, lightweight. Yeah, I mean, I think it's an attractive car. I don't think it's bad looking, but looks a little like an MR2. Steve just came home to his cat eating his quesadilla from after dropping his girlfriend off for work. Nice. That sucks. Nothing's worse than coming home to an animal eating your food that you were just about to eat. That's pretty bad. I've grown up from 4 cylinders. Yes, I also have grown up from 4 cylinders. I'll take the 4C. Yeah, but I'm talking about like what I would own from Alpha. I would also still never ever own an Alpha. I'm just talking about theoretically if I had to buy an Alpha. Miata is still around 30K. In my opinion, if looking for a fun 4-banger, that's the benchmark. I agree there. I mean, Miata or the BRZ, both of those are, I would say, of equivalent fun factor to the average motorist. I would say the BRZ/86 is probably a bit better right now just because it's newer than the ND Miata, which came out, man, when did the ND Miata come out? I want to say 2015, 2014? 2016, right around there. But BRZ just got a remake and a new engine and a new revamp. So I would say that the BRZ and the 86 probably have the leg up right now. But like Doug says, Miata is still around 30 grand, even with all the inflation stuff. So can't really beat that. Let's see, 4-cylinder is there a 4-cylinder domestic car that anyone would want more than this? I'd say no. In this category, I don't think there is anything domestically that would compete with this. A 2-door sports car. I mean, I would say no. I don't see anything that anyone would want more than this. The problem is the people that want this, can also go out and buy a BMW M3, not a new M3, but maybe a previous gen M3, or an M2 for the same money, or a Porsche Cayman, 718 Cayman, for slightly more money. So it's not really in a league of its own, especially with a 4-banger. So I don't know. There's nothing there per your question that is really competing with it, but I don't see anything that's really that it would really, beat in category either. Justin, you know what it's missing? A Coyote. Couldn't agree more. A Camry, because when I think sporty, I think Camry. Damn it, Chad, shut up. Christian, hey, offshoot. When did Camrys start to look so mean? What happened to them being normal family cars? I don't know, but the new ones actually look really good. I think they heard everyone started to talk about Camrys being just this boring car. And they were just like, all right, let's make them look a little bit better, and they did. KC graduated from 4-cylinder to 5-cylinder. I'm still a child. What 5-cylinder do you drive? Really interested in that because I do love 5-cylinder engines. Chad graduated to boosted V8s. Mustang is going Super Saiyan. It's over 9,000. Tony says Cayman. Yes, the 718 Cayman. Mustang EcoBoost versus this. I mean, I don't know. I would say this just because it's definitely more. It's more exotic looking, whereas the Mustang EcoBoost is just like a Mustang with a 4-cylinder in it. So I don't know. I'd much rather have this over a Mustang EcoBoost for sure. 2JZ Camry. I would drive a 2JZ Camry. RS3. Yes, my man. Very awesome. RS3s are bananas. I want an RS3 or a TTRS so bad because it's literally the last 5-cylinder engine made. And those things are as stout as they come. And it's still the only car on Hoonigan's This versus That to actually win heads up against the, I think it's the Hoonicorn, the Mustang one. It's the only car to ever take it down on a heads up, which is very, very impressive. Oh yeah, that's a great point, Casey. TTRS would smash this Alpine. That's probably a car I would take 10 out of 10 over the Alpine for sure. I think that oops, wrong thing. There we go. I think that the TTRS is definitely a much better car than this Alpine. I still don't understand why they would bring it to market in the US. Like, do they see a 4-cylinder sports car gap that we don't? I don't know. Maybe to Doug's point, they see, there's nothing domestically that could compete. But like again, there's so many other things that you could buy for this money. I think it's between like $70,000 and $90,000. Like, there's so much more you could buy for the money. Like an insane amount. The TTRS is a great example of that. TTRS would destroy this car in every conceivable way. Let's see. It's just because you're not a Mustang fanboy. Cough, Chad. Cough. Cough, Chad. Cough, Justin. No, I know, Chad. It didn't win. It didn't win the best of 3. Other cars have won rounds, but this was the first one to win a round against them, and it was. I think it was the only one to like really like truly take it down. Heads up. I think some of the other cars like won rounds, but there was weren't they given like different car lengths ahead? So, but this one won like straight up against it, I thought. Tony, Miata is always the answer, but this doesn't compete against the Miata, so I don't think so. EcoBoost is a Mustang with training wheels. Pretty much, that's a great way to look at that. EcoBoost is a Mustang with training wheels. One of the old school EcoBoost Merkur. Yeah, that's actually a cool car. Those Merkur X4 RTIs or whatever they were. Since we got some more people on, I just saw a couple of viewers spike, and now we got a bunch of people kind of chatting. What are you guys looking forward to this spring? Do you have certain meets that you're looking forward to once the weather kind of turns nicer? Are there like different vacations, like car vacations you're going on? I want to hear what you guys are doing. Earlier in the stream, I was talking about I'm excited for the New York Auto Show, which is local to us. We're finally going back there to get some good footage for you guys, to make a ton of reels, some car content. We have Carlisle Import and Performance Nationals coming up in May, which is a big meet in the middle of Pennsylvania for tons of imports, domestics. There's like drifting competition. There's like car limbo for like the lowest car. There's an exhaust competition. There's a ton of stuff. It's really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. Chad's going to that too. So Chad and I will be there. There's another one in October I was talking about called Avantoberfest. It's basically like a fast wagon meet, which is cool. Hopefully I can go and bring this year, which would be really neat. So what are you guys excited to? What meets or things that are coming up this year and this spring and summer that you guys are interested in? I want to hear where you guys are going this year. Let's see. Justin, I'm headed to a rally in Maine. Looking forward to that. What rally is that? I'm interested to hear about it. I've always wanted to do a rally. I do want to do, God forbid we get enough money. Gumball 3000, I think it would just be a once in a lifetime thing to kind of do. I know DDE and Mr. JWW and Shmee, they do those things all the time, but I would love to go on that just to say I've been on a gumball. I would think it'd be really cool. There's a couple of other rallies around here in the U.S. that do really fun stuff. Gold Rush is another one of them. There's the Dust Ball Rally, which is one that a good buddy of mine, Freddie Tavares Hernandez, does. He does that every year, and it's more of like driving based and gimmicks. So you like go do like checkpoints and do the gimmicks to get points, and then you can win the trophy at the end, which I think is really cool. But it's mostly about driving, and it's all back roads. It's like you see gumball footage, and they're always on like highways and stuff. The people that do Dust Ball, I think it's called Dust Ball Rally. I have to go back and look at his videos. But they specifically scout roads that are only good driving roads, that are only back roads. The whole rally is on back roads, which is really cool to me. So even if you didn't do the gimmicks, just to go on the rally, to drive the back roads, that's worth it to me. So that's another one I would love to do. But there's a whole bunch of them that you could do in the US. I'd love to at least do one rally that I think would be really neat. But yeah. What else we got? Steve, I'm trying to save up so I can say F my job and take a mini vacation to Florida to meet up with Rex. Saving up enough money to say F your job is a good amount of things to do. Sorry, I'm texting with my wife. My wife is in grad school. She just texted me, I just read the wrong book for class. I'm laugh crying. Need to pick up a book tomorrow. Oh no, that's so terrible. I gotta go inside and console her. Christian, I sadly have no plans apparently. All my car friends are on the other side of the country. Well, that means you just gotta move, man. You just gotta move and come back here. KC, need to make a trip to Tail of the Dragon, round 2. I've been there in my 2010 S4 for a rally, and I'm determined to recreate it in my S3. Dude, I bet you can find enough people on the Audi forums to go do that with you. I bet you can probably get 10 to 20 people and go get some hotel rooms at one of the lodges up there and go do it. Chad and I did Tail of the Dragon back in 2019. No, was it 2019? 2018? It was a while ago. I want to say maybe 2019 or 2017. I don't remember. It was a while ago, but it was so much fun. It was an absolute blast. I want to get back there as well. Maybe if we get enough people in the supporter group, we could do a Shifting Lanes Tail of the Dragon meet, which would be really cool to like drive the Tail of the Dragon with all of our subscribers that support us. I think that would be really kind of neat. May look into another Woodward trip. Oh, that'd be cool. Might be getting my engine back this spring and take my Suburban to the drag strip. Yes, a Suburban on a drag strip sounds utterly fantastic. Steve, I've always wanted to do a rally. Same here, brother. Tony, I doubt my XT60 3.2 is autocross material. You would be surprised at how many people bring out the craziest stuff for autocross. Justin, oh, New England Forest Rally. Oh, dude, I've been to that. It was a blast. I went there with Toyota actually. Toyota's been very good to us over the years. They've invited us to a lot of stuff, and they do a lot of super fun stuff. We did that. Well, I went up there and did that. I went to O'Neill Rally School with them when they were trying to push the Toyota RAV4 that had like a new package, like a new off-roading package. It had like big knobby tires, like sort of Sparco inspired wheels, and like a lift kit. And I gotta be honest with you, I did not expect this to do anything whatsoever. But I went up there, went to O'Neill Rally School, and like rallied around in a RAV4. It was pretty fun. And I thought I was gonna flip this thing. I'm like jerking it around in the on like the stones and stuff, and all the teachers are just like, "Oh yeah, these things are great. We've been driving them all week. Just chuck it. It won't flip." I'm like, seriously? I feel like I'm gonna flip this. They're like, no, watch this. And then they just like whip this thing around, like doing Scandy Flick stuff. So I learned how to do like Scandy Flick. It was amazing. It was so much fun. But we went to the New England Forest Rally that year with I think Ryan Millen was driving the RAV4 rally car for them, and we did like a whole ride along with them. It was a blast. It was super fun. But New England Forest Rally was really cool. We went up there to it was at Sunday River that year, so that was really fun. Let's see what do we got here. Doug says AACA I9S or I9s doing an Eastern Spring meet in Gettysburg. I'll be judging at. Oh, that's cool. And of course, October in Hershey. That's nice. Dustball Rally. Thank you, Tony, for confirming that. Chad, everything can be auto X. Damn straight. Yes, it can. Everything can be autocrossed for 100% confirmed. Let's see. What else do you guys got? General contractor Christian getting my general contractor's license and a new truck to haul with. Congratulations in advance. I know you'll get it, and definitely get a truck. And we formally request input into what truck you get. Let's see what else you guys got. Too bad you're on the other side of the country. I know. It's all good. You just got to move out here, man. Yeah, Chad just posted that. So the big story from that trip that we did up in Sunday River was I had a press car from Toyota, and it was a RAV4. But there were two press cars on that trip. I drove one press car up and a different one home. And that's the story I told over on VinWiki with Ed Bolian, who's the nicest guy ever, and I met him through Tavares and did a couple stories for them like a while ago. Need to get back down there because I have more stories that I would love to give Ed. So the whole thing for that story was I drove the car up, and it was an all-wheel drive silver RAV4 V6, right? And nice car. Yeah, it was a 8-hour trip up to Sunday River, and car performed great. It was lovely. Drove it around the area. It was nice. The Rally RAV4 is basically literally just the same engine as like all the other RAV4s, but it was a front wheel drive and it was the 4-cylinder version, right? So it was basically just a stripped out RAV4 with a roll cage, racing seats, a wheel, and then like a digital dash, and the normal engine, the same engine you get in any RAV4, any 4-cylinder RAV4. But that was it. Like that was the class. So that's what they ran. And we were doing ride-alongs over at a different ski resort, not Sunday River. We went over to new supporter, KC. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, brother. Thank you for supporting us. That's very awesome. I will get to your question in just a second after I finish the story. But so we went over to this other ski resort, and we were doing like ride-alongs in the rally car. So Ryan Millen, I get in. I do this to every ride-along guy or girl that I drive with. I'm just like, dude, scare me. And he's just like, I've been ripping this thing pretty hard. I'm just like, do it. I want to go fast because it's just fun for me. I like going fast. It was a blast. So my thing goes, and so we're going through like the woods and everything, and then we come back and we like bottomed out once right when we got almost back to it. We pull in and I get out, and they're not letting anyone else get back in the car. And I was like one of the last people to go. So they were like looking under the car, and I look under, and there's something hanging down, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, this is not great. So I guess what happened was when we bottomed out after that that last sort of thing, the the ECU sort of ripped out of the car because they mounted a whole bunch of stuff up underneath, and I guess what happened was it kicked like a rock kicked up, tore back a panel, and then the next rock that was after that sort of tore a bunch of the wiring in the ECU out. So their ECU was basically dead. So they had a backup car. They brought the backup car out, and they did that for the rest of the ride-alongs. But the problem was they didn't have an ECU for their main car. They couldn't run the backup car in the race the next day. They have to use the main car. So what happened was after dinner at the hotel, one of the guys that's part of like the rallying team came up to me and said, "Hey, we got to confiscate your car." Now I'm looking at like, what did I do wrong? Did I was I part of the problem that, the car broke? Did I do something wrong during the trip? I'm very sorry. He's like, no. We need the ECU from your press car. And all the Toyota people are there too. So they're just like, yes, do it. We don't care. This is like our rally team. Like, we'll figure it out later. So what happened was they took my car, they ripped the all-wheel drive ECU out. They basically did some like trickery to make sure it was front-wheel drive, slapped it in the rally car, and then sent the rally car off and won the stage the next day. And they were up till like 4 a.m. fixing the car. So that's like a true rally story that like they totally like jury rigged and like backwoods engineered this thing into the car, made it work, and sent it the next day and won the stage, which was so cool. And that was like a very cool thing to be able to say. But the story continues after that because I'm like, now I don't have a car to get home. I'm 8 hours away in Maine. So Toyota's like, don't worry, we got it. So me and this other guy, Brian, who used to write for, I think, New York Post, he lived in Boston. So we came, he and I drove together back, and he drove all the way to Boston, and we dropped him off. And then I drove all the way home from Boston back to New Jersey in a hybrid RAV4 that they shipped up the next day for us. So it was a really cool story. It was really, really cool. But yeah, what a nutso story that was. That was funny. Steve, thank you for the 100 stars. You did not need to send that. Appreciate it, man. Let's see. Greg, my cell phone died when you were in the middle of reading my comment about me going to Florida. Basically, I think you had said to make enough money to say F my job. I was just like, dude, if you can make enough money to say F your job, I'm very much in support of you. So please get the bread, brother, and just F off and go do whatever you need to do to make sure that you get some rest and relaxation this year. So I'm full supporting you there, my brother. Let's see. KC, just getting nice weather for cars and coffee. Need more car buds. What's the topic for tonight? And that was basically, oh, Keith, what's up? Thanks for joining, Keith. Appreciate it. We're just chatting right now. We kind of went through everything. Great convos. Got a blast. God bless. Oh, KC, if you're watching after this, thanks, man. Appreciate you dropping in, and appreciate you supporting. That's really awesome. KC being our newest supporter, so thanks for joining the group. You are fantastic, my friend. Tony is currently spring and summer trip plans. Same here, man. Basically everything. Steve, 100 stars for charging cable for Steve's phone, and Justin to get Christian to come to the meet in May. 200 cents. You guys are great. Thank you so much for the stars. Appreciate it, boys. Actually, I'm curious, who is here right now in chat on YouTube or on Facebook that's actually coming to Carlisle in May? I know Chad sending 100 stars. Thank you for giving me $1, Chad, and yourself 50 cents. Obviously, me and Chad are going. I believe Justin's going. I believe Steve is going. I believe Doug is going. I don't know if anyone else is going from the group. If you are going, let me know in chat. Oh yeah, so what and what for May? It's Carlisle Import and Performance Nationals in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. That's what we're talking about. Stars Party. Any other chatters seeing? Oh yes, I just got a thing saying a Stars Party challenge has started. Your audience has been challenged to send stars in the next 5 minutes. Encourage them to reach their goal. I don't know what your goal is, so I don't know what your send stars. I don't know. What's the goal? Drop it in the comments. What is the goal you've been given? I've seen this a couple of times on the back end for Facebook, and I've never known what it is or what the actual goal is. I guess when you have a bunch of people sending stars all at once, it starts this thing called Stars Party, and it encourages people to send more. I don't know. This is so strange. I may have started smashing buttons. So Chad's going with the old school, like Super Smash Brothers way. Just start mashing everything. It's the way to do it. My God, Steve. My goal is to get a new job. Yes, same. I totally agree. Doug, 400 stars. Thank you. Send us, just to see the stupid party. Just another 100 to get to the stars party. I wasn't invited though. Oh man. Well, I'll never do that again. Yeah, I don't know what this is. I honestly have no idea what it is. I don't even see what you guys are seeing. Apparently, I think what happens is when a bunch of people, just like there's like 3 or 4 people send stars in a row, it pings everybody to start a stars party. That's so funny. Whatever. It just goes back to us trying to make more stuff for you guys. So don't think it's just not being used. Celebration in a minute 30. Is that really what it's saying? That's so funny. I don't understand. Oh man. Doug, you must be a successful Volvo sales dealer with the constant stars. I think Doug just likes seeing his name near the top of the stars donation list. It was less exciting than a Camry. Whoa, that's really not exciting. That's brutal. Oh, there's a countdown going on. Oh wait, Chad just sent me a screenshot. Hang on, I gotta see what this is. Stars party achieved. Your celebration is about to begin. Oh man, this is really funny. I want to see what it is. Someone just take a video of it and send it to us, because I know Chad probably will, but do like a screen capture on your phone. I'm really curious to see what the celebration is. Maybe I bet it's just like some confetti and stuff. And that's really it. 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Also, I like that we only you guys only sent like, I don't know, a couple hundred stars, and it was like achieved. I guess maybe it's proportionate to like how many people are on stream. I don't know. I wonder what happens when there's like a giant creator with like 400 concurrents. They're like stars party activated, and it like 4 people donate. And they're like achieved. Like, well, that was a stupid stars party. I bet it's like for bigger creators, it's a lot more. It's a lot more stars that like actually do that. Hey, Happy New Year! So, wait, nothing happens? Wait, did seriously nothing happen? No. Did nothing happen? Chad, someone send me a screenshot, please. I'm hanging here. I'm just hanging on a thread. Did seriously nothing happen? Was it all a dream? Oh man, I can't. What? They said there was going to be a celebration. They didn't even give you confetti? That's so dumb. Whatever. All right, next time you see that, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Oh, there was hands and confetti right after I sent the 400. Okay. So maybe when it's achieved, you get like some sort of celebration. But it says achieved. Your celebration is about to begin. Like, that means in a minute 19, from what Chad sent me, there should be like something begin, whatever. Doug, man, that was very sweet. Appreciate it, dude. I agree. We are very much worth it. Oh man. Well, I think Carlisle's gonna be really. I think Carlisle's gonna be really fun. We need to get as many of you guys there as humanly possible because it's gonna be a blast. We're gonna do the movie night at Doug's, and it's just gonna be a lot of fun. And Chad's gonna be there for the first time, so he'll get to see what Carlisle is about. And Chad, I know you're still watching. Basically, I'm gonna stay over Friday into Saturday, so I have an extra tent if you want it. I'll probably do the whole tent sleeping in and around my car again, which should be fun. I like your guys' comments about the disappointment. That's actually very, very funny. More disappointing than your car failing a state inspection. That sounds very personal, Justin. I would imagine maybe one of yours didn't very, very recently. Chad, I don't do camping. Yes, you do. Don't lie. Oh man, that was funny. Yeah, so if you guys see that Stars Party thing, I mean, feel free to donate if you want, but you do not have to do that again because apparently it does nothing. So I think that pretty much does it for this stream. Remember when we camped in 3 inches of water? Yes, I do, and I don't want to remember that anymore. Not really a fan of that. Perk of working for dealership is state inspections. I once give a guy a dozen eggs to look the other way. Oh man, that's awesome. That's great. And then the eggs, back then eggs were cheap. Yeah. Oh man. All right. Well, look, guys, it's been an hour and 30 minutes. I'm starting to fade pretty hard right now. I need to get to sleep. I'm still not feeling great. But this is a lot of fun. Next week, Chad will be back. We're hoping that his work stuff will clear up hopefully this week. If not, it should be next week. But regardless, I'll be back next week with or without Chad, chatting to you guys. And I think we're going to start to, in the next 1 or 2 weeks, sort of get sort of the merch stuff going. Now, if you're in our supporter group, we're going to try to either give you stuff at cost or totally free for depending on what it is. I know you guys wanted hats. This is actually a really old school one. I got this made, several years ago, but you can kind of see like shifting lanes there, and just the SL on the front. This was just a fitted, normal like flex fit kind of cap, from a local, this is just a Yupon normal flex fit cap from a local t-shirt shop that no longer exists, unfortunately. But the quality is really good. I'm looking for a new place to get it from. I have that other trucker hat that I got from a place online. So I'm going to look at the hat side of things, see if I can find some stuff for you guys. And then Chad, I think, is going to be looking at the design for like Fueled by Dinosaurs and to get that t-shirt kind of done. So our goal is to give you guys the cheapest merch or free merch if you're just being a supporter for the group. So with that said, look out for some stuff coming in the next month or two from us once Chad's work stuff kind of dies down and my sicknesses kind of go away. Hopefully there won't be as many this year as there were last year, as I was basically sick from January through almost August, at least once a month, which sucked. But hopefully it's better. And yes, we're doing a new logo for Shifting Lanes Garage over on YouTube. So if you're not subscribed there, go subscribe there. And we live stream on that as well as Facebook. Hopefully we'll be getting into Twitch also in the next couple of months as well. So if you guys are on Twitch, you can follow us there too or whatever. But yes, Exploding Dinosaurs shirt, hat for sure. we're definitely doing more stuff for you guys. So stay tuned. We're doing that. What Chad said, our designer is good, but we're doing it off the clock, so it does take a little bit. So we're just making sure that it's like good. We don't want to just rush something out and be like, oh yeah, here you go. Like that would be shitty. Stop having children. Yes, I will no longer have children. That's been rectified. But I know what you mean. Stop having children, period. You won't be sick. But yeah, I know what you mean. You should have a wrecked Tesla shirt that says self-driving. Oh, that's a good one. Oh man, full self-driving and just a smashed Tesla. That I think we should do as our second one after the exploding dinosaurs. Anyway, guys, that'll do it for me for tonight. I gotta log off. I gotta go have some hot lemon water and some tea, like Steve and Justin had suggested. So thank you guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out, and I will catch you next week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, have a good rest of your